Goblin's going to keep on clearing our bases. And I think we are going to have the upset.
I mean, Reynor has 3K, 3K, or 4K, 4K now bank, but he just started 26 Zerglings, and now he has 8 larva. So yeah, exactly, yeah. He had he had like 16 larva, and then he starts only Zerglings, and that's because he doesn't have a Spire, I suppose, or anything, but this is kind of getting a little bit crazy. We might be seeing the upset that you're talking about. I mean, Goblin is still mining off of no bases, actually, so he's not mining. If we look at the income tab, it's actually Reynor ahead. So if Reynor can somehow defeat this army, he's still in this game.
If and somehow, the important words, because what does he really have to do that with, though, right? 13 Corruptors and the Spore Crawler, sure. But of course, Goblin can just, start re-expanding, etc. if he needs to. He can just work around other locations on the map. He doesn't necessarily have to fight straight on into this. And now the Tempest's actually kind of cool. His army definitely is getting to a weaker point. We are down just still 8 lava, though, cats, as the Spire is so close to finishing. I mean, 8 more Corruptors. Definitely something I would take in this fight. The Spire finishes. Goblin is already here trying to fight this, though. The first couple of Queens going down. 9 Corruptors in production, so we are making our move. Let's see if Reynor can somehow buy enough time to actually make this work. A lot of these Voids going down quickly anyway against the lower Corruptor count, because remember, they were so battered from the Parasite bombs and fungal growths earlier. Reynor's supply is now catching up overall. Oh, can he just about hold on? Can the Corruptors do it? The intercept count's really low.
Yeah, he has to abandon this base and go for that next base defense. Just uproot those forts and put him back at the new base. Maybe start a new lair somehow. I mean, somehow seems to be my favorite word here, because Reynor is having to solve for impossible problems. Like, he's doing the best that he can in doing that. He really needs a spawning pool. Now he's going to drop it at his new base location. I would have almost liked the proxy spawning pool on the creep on Goblin side of the map, because that's the safest spot right now, right? Like, Goblin has no reason to go there. Yeah.
The long distance mining for Goblin is huge, by the way, because it gives him the chance to rebuild interceptors, so it's going to make the carriers useful again. He's got 6 carriers, but at the moment, it's almost like, 6 carriers are actually only 2 or 3 carriers with how many interceptors there are. At least now you'll rebuild a few of those. Only 4 probes left as Reynor goes back to deny that mining once again, so there shouldn't be enough to remax fully on the interceptors. In fact, this is about all we're going to get for Goblin. Still better than nothing compared to what he had before.
Yeah, and this Tempest's worthy, they're doing so much work. It all makes sense now.
That's why you built them 12 minutes ago, cats. Duh.
Quite clearly, yeah. And look, I mean, this is fantastic from Goblin. Here is another lair started, hoping to get to another Spire. I would have loved for Reynor to drop a second Spire. I would have loved the Spire and or the spawning pool to be dropped on the lower end of things, on that creep over there. But it's difficult to fault them. I mean, the top left was the next safest spot, and this place, it's difficult to call it safe, but this is enough Corruptors that they can maybe start doing work.
82 army supply each, by the way, just before that Tempest falls on down. Nice catch there for Reynor. As man, it's difficult because you obviously want to jump on this, beautiful. Get a unit, get out, but you're obviously trying to avoid the Tempest shots, storms. It's such a dangerous game. Reynor, like, his time in this game is basically the Spore Crawlers. That's what's taken Goblin's attention away from his actual army.
And that is why these players are so brilliant, because Reynor is looking after the Tempest pickoffs. He's gotten 2 of them already. We're down to 2. If he gets rid of those, then all of a sudden his spores are going to be super effective. And I absolutely love that Goblin brought his 1 Templar. This Templar is a huge hero this game, by the way. He held on his natural base from that Ultra Ling Baneling earlier all by himself. He has 13 kills on the back of that. And now recognizing that Goblin is in a position where he's sieging from a ground-based location, he brings the Templar as well to zone off potentially with those storms if Reynor wanted to jump on top of the army of Goblin. This is a crazy, beautiful game of StarCraft.
Goblin is long-distance mining with 4 probes again, and it's allowing him to get just a few more interceptors back in play. And it seems crazy, but that's the sort of situation we're in, where little things like that might actually make the difference. That storm was massive, but it is another Tempest. I mean, the Tempest died is permanent damage. It looks as though we're going to jump on this. The Ling and Ultra Force will just try and be a distraction more than anything else. Oh no, the mothership doesn't go down. It survives. The Corruptors get back to a little bit more safety. Going to go picking off these interceptors from afar. Void Ray goes down as well. It's complete and utter chaos. The interceptor count is still trying to hold on here. The Corruptors are going to commit again on low HP. Vials are connecting, Cat. The Corruptors are fighting the interceptors. I don't know who's done it. What? I think
Someone did it.
Goblin done
Someone
it.
has done it.
I think Goblin's done it.
Goblin's done it. Oh my god.
I think. No, but can he fight the spores with the one Tempest? He can.
I mean, the Spire finishes. So with that, it's not yet done. There's a Spire now. Yeah, there's a Spire. Goblin had spotted it too, and there's enough larva for Reynor, but now he's depleted his bank. So these few Corruptors are all we're gonna have to work with. It's 7 Corruptors or something like that. 8 Corruptors against 3 Carriers and a Tempest. I'm not sure that there is enough Interceptors to go off of this Phoenix. It's actually worth its weight in gold at this point, even if just as a human shield.
Oh man, the Corruptors are going to launch the attack. They get the Tempest. The Tempest is big because he knows he can stop the mining, so he knows he can kill Interceptors if they fight the Spores. So getting rid of the Tempest, I think, is the main thing to stop the Spores taking damage over time. As Reynor's now going to move to try and protect the Spire. Corruptors are going to be attacked in by the Interceptors, but now he gets a jump on the Carrier. Carrier 1 of 3 goes down, and this might just be it, as Reynor has won this most ridiculous game number 3 after 26 minutes.
What a joy to watch that game and share it with you, Wardy. That was freaking amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that was just truly something else. There's not every day you see a game like that go the distance, come down to like such few units. If that Spire doesn't go back up, right, this game is just Goblins because he has a Tempest that can chip away at Spores. Reynor can't spend his money. Absolute and utter chaos.
Reynor still in the supply lead, still has a pack of Mutalisks, of course, causing trouble. But there are roaches in your base, and when there's roaches in your base, there's always a chance you're going to lose a lot of drones at the drop of a hat. The Zergling's not able to get in the door. Serral has been so prepared for that with Banelings and a Queen watching for Zergling counterattacks. A nice attack here, snipes a hatchery.
Once again, no cancel. Serral, though, I mean, if he can continue holding on, he will eventually get max, as he's actually starting to bank quite a bit. He has his own infestation pit on the way, which surprised he's going to try and reach for that.
The important things to look for is where the lurkers are burrowed, where their spines are firing from, and if the green blinding clouds land on those lurkers, he's going to dive in here. He's looking for an angle. A Duck's pulling a few lurkers forward. One blinding cloud goes down. A huge surround for Reynor coming in from all angles. A Viper gets pulled in as well. The mass of Ravagers doing so much damage for Reynor, but the lurkers holding strong for Serral.
The lurkers really did hold strong. I think Reynor maybe did not see a couple of those lurkers on the backside or
fear. Of course, and the Roaches hard as they see that they have to back away. There's Vipers here, but there's even more on Serral's side than Reynor's, and he's just gonna pull those Ravagers in, takes the free kills and backs off. Serral is in efficiency mode now. Serral being very annoying to play against here, and the Lurkers, there's still one on the back, but the Blinding Clouds are huge.
He should not go in his own Blinding Clouds, though, as the army from the backside comes forward, but Reynor actually pushes past those Blinding Clouds into Serral's army.
Reynor so ballsy, taking a fight on both sides, and yet there's not many lurkers here. He seems to have found the weak point in Serral's armor. He's done some great damage here. I think he may have broken through. Serral still has mining bases. He's trying to rebuild that force, but right now he does not have a lot of lurkers on the map, and this Roach Ravager Hydra Viper force is still very scary.
They're both going to deplete their bank right now, but Serral loses a hatchery, loses some very expensive units, and Reynor, I mean, he's lost the hatchery. You know, they're both low on those mineral patches, but finds two more lurkers and may be able to get out. No, he's going to decide to go engage.
Blinding Cloud is huge there. It goes down so much quicker for Reynor. He's one game away from finishing this, but Serral says no. Flanks in from the right-hand side. The lurker does get blinding clouded, but the Hydra flank is enough. Serral weathers the storm, comes back after being on the back foot for 20 minutes straight. It's been incredible to watch here, but now it's time for him to finally push across the map. Serral has just hung on after so many assaults. Reynor with such a ballsy playstyle, swinging in from all sides. The patience and strong defense is the victor. We're going to a map 7, people. Serral hangs on.
Storm is like halfway done. He's got that prism once again with the 4 high 10 plus.
And I like what he's doing here. He's like threatening a counterattack just to try and slow down Cure. What the? Was that using the attacks from them?
Yes.
Because he didn't have Storm ready. Oh, yeah. That was the least impressive drop of all time.
He has to show dominance, boys.
He's like 6 damage at a time.
I'll instill fear in him.
All right, Storm is done, by the way. Parting once again forcing a little bit of an awkward base trade here. He's got a lot of Storm to work with. Oh, I love what Q is doing over here, though. He's getting right on top of these probes all the time. The Storms. Oh, he storms his own probes?
Well, that's one way to lose 38 probes, 42. Yeah, these Storms, they're dealing a lot of damage. The counterattack of Parting, yeah, it's dealing damage. He's going to get a lot of SCV kills as well. But if these Liberators reposition just a little bit, it's going to be very rough for Parting. Parting's losing everything, man.
I mean, he stormed his own probes, but like most of the time things start looking pretty bad at this point. I love the way that Cure split up his army there. This is still a pretty serious Protoss force to work with. How many Blink Stalkers do we have?
Wait, Kev, the army value, Parting's actually ahead in army right now, and he's getting on top of the production as well.
He's doing the same thing as last game, you know, when he's behind, he goes for a...
Oh, Liberator goes a little bit too far forward, gets picked up immediately, the other Liberators. There isn't that much bio, by the way, to protect these Liberators. So Parting is actually going to be able to take out a lot of these Libs. The last one takes a little while. One Colossus does survive.
Parting's ahead in supply.
Hello.
The army value is 75 against 44. He's coming across with the rest of his army. He's cleaned up the counterattack as well. Cure, he's scrambling right now.
Wow, this was actually such a sick counterattack in the end. There's a Warp Prism showing up as well. A few more Stalkers are going to get warped in. But Cure doesn't have that much to work with anymore. The Marine's going to try to take out the Prism. They won't succeed in doing so. Parting is actually starting to do it, guys.
Parting is fighting tooth and nail here. His supply is still ahead. Cure's now losing all his SCVs.
What?
GG! Parting fights back in a miraculous fashion. Wow.
Down 15, 16 workers, down in pretty much every single aspect you can be behind it in a game of StarCraft 2. Goes for a little base trade, turns it around, gets the W.
What a legend, man.
And once again, Serral finds a pylon. He depowers the cannons, and he's not watching. Oh no! 28 probes and even more to come. 31. Can we get? Oh my God! All of those are exposed as well. Plus the melee is down 40. 42 workers
no, he's
go
not
down.
done yet. The Mutas are still in the back of the 4th base, and well, he's happy to fight the Stalkers, as we already saw. As long as there's no Archons and Storms, he will, well, continue flying around.
I mean, how often do you see +2 Mutas against 1/1 Stalkers? I mean, Astrea is down to 27 workers. He kind of needs to go, but obviously that's not the play. There's no way his army will win a fight against Serral.
Lurker then in the back it is too.
Yeah, Lurker then Hive. Serral is prepared for everything.
Yeah, Serral just rubbing salt in the wound over here right now.
It's kind of a checkmate situation, honestly, for Astrea, because even if he goes out across the map, like Serral could even base trade if he wanted to.
He doesn't even need to fight the army necessarily, but I think he probably will,
but I think
right?
either way, Serral would win.
Yeah. He has the base trade, yeah, as you said, he even has the base trade bases set up at the corner of the maps. So...
Oh yeah, you're right. top left and bottom right are already taken. Serral about 4 steps ahead of his opponent here in this series so far. All right, he does need to be a little bit careful though. This is still a scary Protoss army. Am I going to do the caster thing?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. Protoss here does look pretty scary. High Templar full of energy. Should be a Prism out there somewhere as well. You guys have given up on it.
Well, the issue is on creep, these banelings will always connect usually. You need to like pre-storm them, and at that point you can just run away and back and forth a little bit with the banelings. But in the end, on creep, the banelings should connect with something, and this something is Stalkers. So, I mean, good guiding by Astrea.
Yeah.
He's taking a pretty nice fight here. Man, the army supply. Am I doing the caster thing right now? Because the army supply is looking pretty alright for Astrea. The thing is, can he stabilize at home at the same time? There's a lot of bases that he needs to go through, but is this army actually beatable at this point?
That is a very large army. Protoss doesn't have a whole lot of economy anymore. The only thing Serral needs to do is clean up the force. Is he going to be able to do so? He needs to be very careful though. Those Archons are soaking up banelings.
Yeah, all the Archons go down though, so decent target fire there by Serral. He still has 70 workers. The issue is just that there's so many bases to go through for Astrea to actually completely kill Serral. Now he finds an extra High Templar in the main base, he gets off the Storm, but that's not really that useful. 30 Stalkers. I mean, if we look at the unit count, there's really 30 Stalkers and not that many units from Zerg.
Yeah, those Immortals also not messing around. There's not a whole lot of larva. Serral actually missing a couple of injects over there, it seems. He decided to pull a couple of the boys. Even Overwatch right now up above. This could actually be a win, guys.
It could be, yeah.
I think it is. Dude, Astrea's doing it, man. He's killing the last of Serral's units, and Serral has decided to go for the engagement, but he cannot clean it up at this point. He can't even kill any of the Stalkers anymore. As long as Astrea has good blink micro, which he absolutely does, he keeps a lot of his army alive, and GG's called.
Oh my god.
Even Astrea laughing. Bro, he had no blink, no Phoenix. The first time he saw the Mutas were when they were in his own main base, and he somehow came back from that.
That was Serral winning for about 98%, and he knows it very well.
He's laughing as well.
Yeah, he was winning for about 98% of that game. And then eventually Astrea came out with a huge army.
Bunny with nothing left over. Ragnarok gonna finish this off 2-0.
This is over. Bunny is done, man. The few units he has are holed up back in his main, or natural, I guess you should say. There's an idle ghost town expansion here in the bottom left. It's not being used. Still enough minerals to soak up here on the map, as well as enough gas for Ragnarok to make this I think a very easy closer.
Yeah.
All that Ragnarok has to do is wait for that command center to land again and try to take another fight. And it's easy enough to just defend this bottom left location so that it can't be mined from. So I think we're basically going to see Bunny run out of steam.
Yeah.
And kind of fizzle up and die.
He's got 16 workers. He's like, there's no real income coming. Those deals will help, but that's never going to be enough. But the thing is that I keep looking at, like, don't look at the actual supply, look at the army supply. It's the same.
Sure.
And when that's like highly microable Terran units versus attack moving Zerg units, you get very efficient.
So now Terran's making tanks, because I think Terran's decided it's probably about time to push.
You think? I don't think he'll push. I think going on creep is the one way 100%.
Yeah, no, you're right. That was actually dumb of me to say. No, he wouldn't push here.
Ah, that's what the tank is for.
Yeah.
I love it.
Now, I don't even think it matters if he loses that many drones here. He has so many drones. Yeah.
There's not many minerals left, honestly.
Yeah.
But picking off anything right now is super valuable.
What am I watching?
The most efficient stuff you've ever seen. Those drones want those minerals so bad.
All right, get him!
Okay, clears that out.
By the way, Terran is very much more upgraded air-wise. Zerg's just got +1 air attack.
I don't think these Marauders can kill all the drones before they get all the minerals.
I was wondering that, man.
There's so many pads.
Maybe you want your supply freed up anyways. Well, there's almost no more minerals to mine from in the game, by the way.
No one's going to max out, man.
Yeah, they literally can't.
What you see is what you get. I think Bunny's going to take this straight up.
I think so. This doesn't feel right, though. This feels like he had it and then he didn't. Like Ragnarok, that is.
Well, that is oftentimes the way in StarCraft, isn't it? Hard game.
I am so confused as to why he didn't try to take a fight at the bottom left. It's like he had the game, the Terran was mined out. Terran's like, well, I'll land here and land mules, and Zerg's like, whoa, 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 man, you're the boss. Don't hurt me.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Did you say mules? I'm sorry. I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah. Ragnarok, I think at this point, right, he's got no more money. He can't kill Bunny.
I think there's no way with all the splash damage.
I think literally we're almost out of minerals on the map when Bunny finishes bottom left. He's got like a handful of things that could hit a floating building.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of Vikings here, man.
He's going to go for it. Here we go. Blinding clouds come down. Really good fungals. Hold up.
Yeah, really good fungals.
It looks like the Vikings are going to win the air fight.
Yeah, and I mean, as soon as you kill all the anti-air, the best Ragnarok could get is draw, but you can't get that.
Wow, dude, that's crazy. What a game.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Really thought Ragnarok was going to be able to take that one. But Bunny, he held on. The turtle style as Terran is just so strong.